Hello people, this is a video response to why African features are seen as masculine but not ugly. I'm going to tell you one thing. For women, it's a difference because all women want to be looked at as beautiful to a certain degree. But, you know, besides all that, African features have always been beautiful. We have been brainwashed that it is more masculine. Now, you can't choose one African American lady and say that's the standard of all beauty. Now, if you go to any area of the world, let's say you go to Africa and you see African films from Nigeria, Kenya, or Ghana, you'll see different kind of beautiful African women with different facial structures. And I say they're dark skinned and they look better than elect wet, in my opinion. But you can't just describe one. You can't have a certain standard of beauty because everyone will be in a certain box. See, many women got many different facial structures, especially in Africa. Now, if I watch some Asian films and things like that, of course, I'm gonna look at some nice looking Asian ladies in that film because most of the time they're gonna have the most beautiful women in those films, so people can go ahead and watch it. This westernized society, for instance, though, it's so diverse and multicultural. But then again, most women that are chocolate to dark skin, they are underappreciated in the society because now, everyone gets through the era when they say black is beautiful and things like that. But the difference is in today, a lot of people want to gravitate towards the biracial kind of woman like the Halle Berrys and Alicia Keys and Lauren Londons of the world. And if they don't see those people, they will see the light-skinned Latino women. And most of the chocolate sisters that's nice looking and representing, like the Tashina Arnolds and the Terry Vaughns and the Gabrielle Unions, yes, they will have some kind of roles in films, but they're not always the leading actresses in those films, not the leading lady or the #1 love interest. I'm gonna get into the women on the second video. Right now, I'm gonna talk about the men. Now, the men like Wesley Snipes, Tyrese, and Damel Harsoon and Denzel. See, these people, as men, are always gonna pull off any kind of role they can pull off in an action movie because that's what they do. Being dark-skinned and light-skinned is not the biggest factor, I believe, all the time. It depends on what market that you are targeting to. Because Vin Diesel, for a while, he was in every action movie. He was like a hot actor for a while, a couple of years ago. No one can tell me that Terrence Howard cannot play a bad guy. And he's the lightest of lights. You know what I'm saying? So any man can pull off anything. I mean, women always going to attract what they are attracted to, but if you have that certain swagger, they overlook those. I've seen women that overlook those features when you have that certain swagger or that self-confidence that you carry, even as a big man. You know what I mean? A man with a pot belly. I bet you back in the day, a light-skinned pot-bellied person like Harry D, I bet you had a whole bunch of women gravitating towards him. You know what I mean? If you have a certain status and a certain self-confidence and self-assured, women will take heed of that, or they will realize that. Now, of course, you know, everybody's fantasy man might be a Denzel or Morris Chestnut or something like that. But the point I'm making is most men can pull off anything. You know what I'm saying? If I want to write a script on a bad guy, it can be a white person. It could be a bald-headed white guy with tattoos. It could be a long-haired white guy with muscles. See what I'm saying? If you in any era, you will see that. In the 80s, when they had when action movies was getting, you know, be the biggest thing, especially in this new technological world that we're living in now, with the Stallone, Schwarzeneggers, and Van Dammes, and Steven Seagals, they were the super masculine men at the time. So it's not that no one's trying to emasculate white men, but it's just that a lot of people don't want to see action films of that nature hardly anymore. I mean, I'm not saying they don't make them anymore, but it'll probably come back. But Stallone and Schwarzenegger and all them were the standard at the time. They were trendsetters. So it's just like when Burt Reynolds was big in the 70s. I mean, he was the sex symbol. If you go back to watching cowboy movies like Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, and Paul Newman, and all these other guys, they were the super masculine heartthrobs that wooed women all around at the time. See, black men know that we are one of the most influential people in the United States or in the world. In the blaxploitation movie, for instance, Fred Williamson, Jim Brown, and Jim Kelly, they were the superheroes or the cult heroes or whatever. They were the superstars. So I don't think that it's a big deal when it comes to men, because if you're a good actor, you present that swagger, and even if you're in regular lifestyle, and any person, I don't care what color they are or what size they are, you can tell when someone has that self-assured confidence or that swagger to them. You know, like a LL and a T.I., you know, they're brown-skinned people, but, you know, they don't intimidate anybody by just physical looks. Like, especially T.I., I mean, he's about $130. What I'm saying, he has that self-assured confidence that, you know, no one's going to mess with him. You know, you can tell, you know, he's from the streets or whatever. And that has nothing to do with color or whatever. So if I'm writing if I want to put a bad guy in there, I can put some dude that's intimidating looking, and that'll be it. It could be a black guy. I mean, I can get Kimbo Slice, since he's the most popular fighter right now, and put him in a movie as a cameo, you know, as a bodyguard or something. You know, that's just nature, because he is known for knocking people out in the streets. So just that example alone it does not make him more intimidating because they have African features, because, you know, we're going to have some intimidating white dudes. You know, it could be a 300-pound dude with hands big as baseball gloves. You know, it depends on what situation they're going to put that, they're going to use that role in the movie. What kind of man they're going to have in that movie. You know, it can be anybody intimidating. And the light-skinned people don't have to necessarily be pretty boys, and the dark-skinned dudes have to be bad guys. It's more complex than that. Because Lawrence Fishburne and a lot of other actors that, you know, brown or light, they can play any kind of role. They can play bad guys, good guys, sensual guys, anything. But I'm going to get to the ladies in the second part of this video, because the men, I think, can get away, you know, in spite of their looks, more than a woman can.